We can harness this energy. Very powerful energy there. Sometimes we don't know how to work with it, we get taken over by it. Then people get angry, then they get angry at being angry, see. Then they get frustrated and resentful about being angry. They get frightened and they get worried and they get guilty about being angry. How the anger is like this. You can just see the anger is just very simple, very simple. Otherwise, we have to suppress it, hide away from it, ignore it, and it takes energy to suppress it. So we're using up energy rather than plugging into it and tuning into this powerful light energy then. If our mind has some degree of calmness, some degree of clarity, we can begin to open to it, perhaps begin to understand it, and be more open to this powerful energy, not being taken over by it, and not pushing it away, not suppressing it. It gives us a different relationship to it. And this is, in a way, a transforming relationship. Because now we're actually opening to the way things are. And when you can relate to it a bit more openly, say, this is not you. Now you're the one who knows it. Say in Thai, you're the Buddha now. The word Buddha means the one who knows. So we put our energy into that knowing quality. Then if we know anger, we're not anger. We're the knowing of the anger. Putting our energy to that. And it gets transformed then. This anger becomes a source of wisdom then. By knowing what we are, what this aspect of ourselves, anger, really is. And it becomes a source of wisdom now, to know who you really are. So in a way you can even kind of welcome anger. Not today. Well, I'm here. But with calmness of mind and clarity of mind and wisdom, you can even welcome it. Because it becomes a source of wisdom then. And transform it into wisdom and knowing what's really happening in your mind. Seeing this movement. I don't like this. I don't want that. This is no good. I prefer this. You actually see this activity of mind going on. When you become knowing of it, you free yourself from being it. Because you're the one who knows it now, and not the one who's getting taken over by it. Yeah, does it sound good? Possible? Yes, okay, yeah. It's starting. And the rest of it is how we keep practicing it, It's one thing to be able to practice when we have a formal situation with our friends or in front of the Buddha image, but to be able to try and keep this teaching going in our everyday life. That's the most important part, I would say. More important even than practicing in a temple or in a Buddhist place. Because most of the time, we're in our everyday life. So we spend most of our time. So we can bring a little bit more clarity, a little bit more wisdom into that. We can practice much more often, all the time. And usually it's in our everyday life situations where we say in English, our buttons get pushed. That's where anger arises. That's where greed arises. When you come to the temple, nobody's angry, right? Maybe a little bit greedy when you see them all the nice food. Just a little bit. But in the course of everyday life, that's where we meet our limitations. You're out in the street and it's hot and somebody bumps into you, and then when you come to the temple, then you be a nice, peaceful Buddhist. So this is a very good occasion to have the opportunity to get some grounding in the Buddha's teaching. But don't just leave it in temple. You can take this with us wherever we go and try and cultivate this quality of collectedness, calmness, clarity, wisdom, these qualities which we can maybe tune into and experience in this environment. Take them with us when we go back to our homes, back to our work. And try and keep it nurtured there and keep it growing there. And it may be difficult, I can admit, it may be difficult. I couldn't do it. I became a monk. I tried to do it back at university, but too difficult, so I went to Thailand to become a monk. It's a little bit easier as a monk. But the point is, little by little, day by day. When people came to ask Ajahn Chah, they always say, oh, meditation's so difficult, meditation's so difficult. can you breathe? Yeah. Well, that's meditation. Just watching the breath. What's so difficult? But, you know, the practicality is it's very simple, but in principle, the exercise is simple, but then to continue with that in all of our daily life. We're breathing all the time, but how often are we aware of breathing? That's the question. So the possibility now to know what these instructions are, what the guidance is, now to continue with it, keep it going in our life. Say one breath at a time, one moment of clarity at a time. If we think too high, we think too far away, oh, I want to be enlightened in 1 month. I know it doesn't work quite like that. But just one breath at a time, and then we're in the present moment, then it'll keep going, and you find the second breath is easier. The third breath, easier still. Now after 30 years of meditation, now it's getting easier. Because it becomes a way of life, it becomes your habit. Before we trained our mind unconsciously in these habits of greed, aversion, delusion. Now we train our mind in clarity, mindfulness, and wisdom. Then, different habits of mind, different training of the mind. It begins to grow into our life. Our life becomes founded now, not on greed, aversion, delusion, but on collectedness of mind, clarity, and wisdom instead. And especially the younger people, start your life on those foundations, build it up through your life, and your life gets better and easier and more wise, less suffering. The longer we can practice, the more we can practice that, keep it going, it'll only get better and better and better. More and more peace in our life. That's something I think I can guarantee. If you keep going with the practice, it does work. It's just very simple. It doesn't matter about believing in the Buddha, it's just cause and effect. Cause and effect. We train our mind in skillful things, the effect is we'll get skillful results, more peaceful results. Simple as that. It's just scientific. I studied engineering. So I didn't believe in the Buddhas, I didn't believe in the Devadas and all these things. Just cause and effect. Cause and effect. When I came to practice meditation, I saw that it was based upon cause and effect. In the Buddhist teaching, you say karma vipaka, karma and result. You put in the good actions to get the good result. Cause and effect. The more we begin to practice this, put in better causes, the better the effect will be. And sort of basically, the more we put into the better causes, the better effects. Of course, we have practically ups and downs, because sometimes it's easier than other times. The more that we can do it, the better effects we'll begin to experience from today onward into the future. So I wish you all the best in your spiritual practice. Hopefully you'll be able to continue with this practice. I think it's reasonably simple, right? Not so complicated. It just takes the continuity, the effort to keep it going. So I wish you well in your continued practice. Maybe I come back again some later time and check your progress.